I was just sitting here preparing for today's Orange Slice. I typically record these the night before you get to see them, and have the Mets Braves game on in the background. And Kevin Pillar of the New York Mets just took a fastball directly to the nose. I mean, it hit him right in the nose, and it's scary. I mean, my heartbeat is still going hard. I'm still feeling jittery. It was just so scary. The game just screeched to a halt. The pitcher, very shaken up. Pillar walked off the field, but I haven't heard yet how he's doing. I mean, it messed him up. My goodness. Anyway, my emotional state right now is like, ugh. This is a question that I got by somebody who's 58 years old, and she sent me a message and said, at 58, what if you've suffered catastrophic consequences? You've been trying to different things to recover, and problems persist. Well, there could be multiple possibilities that would explain why a person's problems are persistent. Number one, your sources of information speak with a lot of authority, but they don't really know what they're talking about. It always astonishes me. People will come to me. I've been in therapy for 15 years. I've had the best therapist. So you don't know what you're talking about, Barnett. I don't? Well, you, the person who's been in therapy for 15 years, still dealing with the same issues you were 15 years ago, you're telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about? That's a riot. That is a riot. So, a person has to look at their sources of information. If you've been listening to the same guy or girl for 15 years, bought up all their books, you go to see them an hour every week, and you've been doing so for 10 years, and you're still dealing with the same issues, that person is not helping you. They're not helping you. So, number one, your sources of information speak with a lot of authority, but they don't really know what they're talking about. Number two possibility, you haven't hit rock bottom. And what that means really is that you just have not managed to tap into genuine motivation yet. So ask yourself some questions like this. Are you sure you're not really just trying to prevent losses by doing this type of work? Are you not just trying to appease a partner? Are you trying not to lose a job? Genuine motivation is doing something because you're compelled from within yourself to do it, regardless of external factors. Number three possibility, one still enjoys the benefits of being emotionally unhealthy too much, which really just means that the comfort of being able to live the way that is familiar to you matters more to you right now than this imaginary notion of being healthy. You've never been healthy before, so your imagination is all you've got to go on. That and looking at other examples of people who were once where you are and whose lives now are much improved. And the irony is that this comfort is fake comfort, the comfort of living the way that you've always been used to, because your way of doing things has only ever brought you misery. Yeah, people actually find comfort in familiar misery. Strange but true. Number four, one may unconsciously or subconsciously believe, secretly, that achieving authentic recovery is impossible. Now, what do we know about human beings and the way that perceiving something as impossible affects us? Well, as human beings, we're totally incapable of generating genuine motivation for any effort that we secretly perceive is a total waste of time. Think about it. If you perceive something as being a total waste of time, how are you going to tap into genuine motivation to try to do something that you believe is utterly impossible? You can't. So you may have to change that perception that you're involved in a pointless undertaking. Number 5, recovery takes time. So maybe a person is just not allowing for the time that is needed and is being overly harsh with oneself or being unreasonable with his or her expectations. Remember, it took me at least 7 years to authentically recover from borderline personality disorder. So, in any situation like this where a person's not seeing results, or let's say not seeing them as quickly as they would like to, it might be like a person who weighs 300 pounds, who begins a diet, and because they don't fit into their bikini after the first week of dieting, they begin to feel like it's all lost cause. The person may just have to adjust their expectations and move the bikini fitting further down the calendar. Number 6, just because we begin to live differently does not mean that the consequences of our past thinking and behaviors are not still in motion. So consequences may still continue to catch up with us long after we're doing things differently. You know, although you're fixing things, consequences for things we have done don't simply just disappear. So healthy people accept the consequences of their behaviors gracefully. I didn't say that they do it happily, just gracefully.